Well, good evening, Tiger Sports fans. Tonight here on Tiger Sports Live, it's ladies softball. The Archbold Lady Blue Streaks come to town to take on our Liberty Center Lady Tigers. I'm your host, Mark the Captain Bly, and on the call tonight, the coaches. About 167 years of coaching experience combined here. Mr. Steve Parasini, Mr. Tim Davis. Guys, this is going to be kind of a cool rivalry league game. It's got a lot of implications here.
Yeah, you got two solid softball teams in Liberty Center and Archbold, and I think Archbold's still in contention a little bit with just the one league loss.
2-1.
Yeah,
yep.
One league loss.
Or 2-2, I'm sorry, because they did lose to Bryan.
Okay, but still in contention a little bit. Liberty Center coming off that tough loss last night. Let's see if they can get back on track. I'm just happy that we've got 2 nights in a row we're going to be able to play. So decent weather today. It's starting to cool off a little bit. Wind blowing out. Hopefully we can get it all in before the rain shows.
Yeah, it's Archibald's had some past record of being very very good softball team. They lost their longtime pitching coach a few years back, and that's probably hurt them a little bit.
All right, we're going to go ahead and break to the public address announcer for play introductions and the national anthem, and we'll be back right after this.
At this time, we ask that you please rise for the playing of our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner. Liberty Center High School and Archbold High School are members of the Ohio High School Athletic Association and abide by high standards of conduct in competition with member schools. All attendants are reminded that this is a game between student athletes and that sporting behavior is expected. The umpires assigned this game have been Tonight's umpires are Ray Pierce and Linda Wilson. All attendants are reminded to treat them with respect as they are providing a service necessary for today's game. And now let's meet our teams. First, for the visiting Archbold Blue Streaks. Leading off, playing shortstop, number 18, Addie Kinsman. Batting second, third baseman, number 3, Tess Ames. Batting third, the right fielder, number 11, Rain Kinsman. Batting cleanup, the first baseman, number 7, Kaylin Bainfeld. Batting fifth and playing second base, number 8, Grace Meyer. Batting sixth, the designated player, number 13, Ryan Burkholder. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 5, Megan Taylor. Batting 8th, the center fielder, number 4, Hannah Downing. And batting 9th, the left fielder, number 10, Charlie Forward. Pitching for the Blue Streaks is number 1, McKenna Thiel. And now, let's meet the starters for your Liberty Center Tigers. Leading off and playing center field, number 2, Emmy Gray. Batting second and playing second base, number 1, Addie Zintek. Batting third and behind the plate, number 9, Bia Barrett. Batting cleanup, the shortstop, number 20, Emma St. Clair. Batting fifth and playing first base, number 22, Kenzie Fuller. Batting sixth, the pitcher, number 3, Molly Perry. Batting seventh and playing third base, number 8, Macy Crew. Batting eighth and playing right field, number 5, Aubrey Zider. And rounding up the lineup, the left fielder, number 7, Eliza Jones.
All right. All right, well, here we go. Steve, as you were saying when we started the national anthem, Archbold's history of a very good softball backed by their strong pitching. I'll let you finish that comment.
They had a girl that pitched for Ohio State a few years back, and they've had some girls a couple different girls that pitched in college. They've always had good pitching coaches. They've been very successful, and they got a good program during the summer. If you go over there on a weekday morning, you'll probably see a whole bunch of girls out there on the softball field. They usually hire a couple of ex-softball players or senior softball players, and they earn a few bucks during the summertime coaching softball. So they've got a good program down there.
Quick question for you, and you may or may not know the answer. Has Archbold ever won the state title in softball? Okay.
In fact, the 1 year, I think, this goes back a ways. I think Ruth Ann Bear, which some of you may...
That's like an 83, 84.
Yeah, somewhere in there. We were playing them, I think it was like the first or second game of the tournament, maybe third. And I can't remember the exact score, but I think we got beat by a couple of runs maybe. And there was one shot down the third baseline, and Ray Carpenter swore after the game was fair. I was watching the runner, so obviously I didn't know what happened. But then they ended up in the finals. They beat a team by like 7 or 8 runs or something like that.
Well, here we go. Leadoff hitter for the Blue Streaks, Addie Kinsman. For the Tigers on the mound today is Molly Perry, and she'll be pitching to Bea Barrett behind the plate here. Macy Crew at third, Emma Sinclair at shortstop, Addie Zintek playing second, Mackenzie Fuller at first, Emmy Gray in center, Eliza Jones in left, and Aubrey Zeider in right field. And first pitch outside, delivered by Molly. Line shot down the right field line, just foul.
Yep. Yeah, they've changed their lineup a little bit. I went on YouTube and watched their game, a part of their game against Bryan, and actually their leadoff hitter did not start the game, and then their leadoff hitter at that game is on the bench. I don't know if there's injury or what.
Yeah, so count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Addie Kinsman, she is a sophomore, and she is their shortstop today. 2-1 pitch. Strike on the outside corner. That evens the count at 2-2. Open stands from Kinsman. Ground ball to second. Addie Zintek there for out number 1.
Yeah, the wind, as you said, is blowing into right field, so you get a left-handed batter up there, or somebody who's got decent power to right field. I know that's where that's where our shortstop goes all the time, Sinclair. She likes to hit the ball on right center.
Yeah. Tess Ames is the 2-hitter for Archbold. She grounds it foul down third, and strike 1 on her. She is a junior and playing third base for Archbold today. So Molly quickly ahead on batter number 2 with that strike.
By the way, she's a letter winner, as was Addie.
Okay. So they got quite a few letter winners back from last year, it looks like.
Yep.
Just 3 seniors in their starting lineup.
And they got, I think, 1 on the bench.
Okay.
2 seniors on the bench.
You know, it's interesting to see if Liberty can bounce back from a tough loss last night to Bryan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds like I wasn't able to go to the game, but it sounds like they had a couple of scoring opportunities, but Bryan's defense kind of came up with the right play at the right time.
Absolutely. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Molly delivers. Ball high and outside. Good waist pitch by Molly. Evens the count at 2-2 here. You know, I think, Steve, last night, Liberty put the ball in play a few times. Just couldn't get that hit when they needed it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a sign.
Ground ball to Sinclair at short. Fires over to first. Scoop by Fuller for the out. So nice play by Fuller over at first base to get the second out on the scoop. She got the short hop scoop.
Did you notice Emma Sinclair goes running to first base immediately after the throw? Like, way to get me out of that jam.
You know, Emma made probably the best defensive play you will ever see.
Well, I don't know. I saw a couple
in high school softball last night. So
is that right? Darn, I wish I would have seen it.
You'll have to go back and watch the tape.
She made a nice jumping catch. I can't remember what it was. Leaping catch the other night. Is that right? She was about 3 feet off the ground.
Rain Kissman at the plate, ground ball, one hopper to Crew, fires the first
right.
for out number 3.
1, 2, 3.
So the Blue Streaks go 1, 2, 3 here in the top of the first, and your Lady Tigers will be coming to bat. Steve, a little bit about last night. The Tigers, they had a leadoff double, I think, in the third inning, second inning, I believe.
Okay.
Couldn't get her scored, couldn't get her the runner moved over. So that cost them early. They stayed in it 1-0 up till the sixth inning, I think, when Brian was able to get a couple runs, I think a couple miscues on the defensive side of things. But then in the seventh, Liberty first 2 hitters go down, and then back-to-back hits in the seventh. Hard hit ball towards the hole between second and short. Second baseman, nice play to end the game. So Liberty was right there. I think they out-hit Brian, actually.
Wow. I'm surprised that pitcher's good. There's no doubt about it. But I think people are hitting her a little bit better. I think there's more pitchers out there that can throw that speed.
Yeah.
I got some stories about the pitcher for Archbold. I'll try to pass those along as the innings go. And I'll kind of remind my daughter, Shannon, she's down in Georgia, that I'm going to say hi to Leo probably maybe at the end of the next just before Liberty comes to bat in the second inning. So
sounds good.
Leo doesn't have much of an attention span, so you might want to get him over there about that time.
McKenna Thiel, sophomore, will be the pitcher for Archbold.
She's got a good background. That's what I said I'll talk about. She's got a mother and an aunt who were super pitchers for about 3 to 4 years at Pettisville. Got a couple of stories about them that, like I said, I'll share with you.
All right, so for Liberty Center, leading off will be Emmy Gray. She'll be followed by Addie Zintek and then Bea Barrett.
Yeah, the lineup shook up a little bit.
Yeah, they switched that up last night. They
Did
switched Addie and Eliza around.
Okay.
So Thiel's first pitch to Gray is on its way. Bounding ball in front of the catcher. Pitcher comes and gets it, throws to first for the out.
I think if Emmy would have took off right away,
yeah,
it looked like she thought, oh, that's going to be a foul ball. That's why you run everything out.
Yep. So nice job by the pitcher coming and get that one.
Yep.
For out number 1. That'll bring up Addie Zintek in the 2-hole.
Outfield's playing straight away, fairly deep. Ooh, that was inside.
Ball inside on Addie. I would assume that they're probably playing a little deeper on I don't know if Addie's a power hitter, but with the wind blowing the way it is, that probably plays into it.
Got the third baseman moving, and the first baseman didn't move at all. Yeah, if that would have been inside on me, it would probably hit me right in the belly because mine sticks out, hers doesn't.
2 balls, so Addie quickly ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes, squares the bunt, pulls back, swing and a miss. She was in a good hitter's count there at 2-0, and I think she got a pitch that she could probably handle on the inner half, but swung through it a little bit.
I think she was over the top.
Yep.
That was a good eye. Good eye.
Count goes 3-1 on Zintek. Tigers trying to get an early base runner here in the top of the first.
Yeah, make things happen. We got some good people coming up behind her. Third baseman's the only one I saw charging, like I said, when she showed that bunt. I think the third baseman's kind of leery about, leery with that bunt, but now that she's got 2 strikes on her, I think she'll probably move back.
Yeah. So the count goes full if Addie fouls one off. And Thiel will deliver the 3-2 pitch. Popped up, shallow center field. Center fielder coming in.
That's going to drop.
That ball will drop. Zintek will be safe at first for a bloop single for Addie Zintek here in the first inning. So the Tigers do get a runner on with Zintek. That will now bring up Bea Barrett, Liberty Center's leading hitter on the year.
That used to be called, I don't know if it still is, a Texas leaguer. I never did figure out why they called it that. I don't know, maybe down in Texas the ball just doesn't carry as far. I don't know, whatever.
As I mentioned, Bea the leading hitter.
Good eye.
It looked like a little change-up, didn't it there,
Yeah,
Steve?
yeah, that was definitely a different speed.
Yeah.
I mentioned that in one of our other broadcasts. That's a pitcher's job. Keep changing speeds to throw the timing off for the batter.
Let's see what Liberty does on the base pass. Zintek with good speed at first. 0-1 pitch is foul, pulled hard down the left field and well out of play by Barrett.
You might see another changeup now, or at least sometime in this sequence. When somebody pulls the ball that hard.
And at Evergreen, she had a home run right over the left pole and about 4 shots right down that line.
When I just got out of high school, I was playing on a men's fast pitch team, and the guy pitching to me was like about 60 years old, and I hadn't caught in high school, so I'm behind the plate catching, and he threw one, and the guy pulled it down the line. And next pitch I called for, and he calls time. So I go walking out there. What's he going to say to me? And he goes, "Whenever they hit the ball that far foul, you better call a changeup on the next pitch."
All right, 0-2. Here's the count on Bia. Bia batting .538 on the year. Ball in the dirt will get past the catcher, and Zintek will move to second. The catcher can't find it. Zintek's going to go. Then she's going to sit around. Now we got her in a rundown. And she's going to be tagged out by the third baseman. I think she had third if she'd have kept going.
Yeah, it would have been closer play. That's for sure.
Decided to put on the brakes. Once you're that far, I think you just got to take your chances and
slide off to the side.
Yep, try and get in there.
Avoid the tag.
But Archbold's able to get the second out of the inning there in a rundown and get Zintek.
And that was a perfect rundown, too. They ran her back towards second. They only took 2 throws. Anytime, got her.
Be way out in front on that pitch outside and in the dirt. And she'll go down on strikes. So Liberty Center, no runs on 1 hit. And after 1 inning of play, it's Archbold 0, Liberty Center 0.
Yeah, as I was saying, the pitcher, McKenna Thiel, she has a mother who pitched, I'm thinking 3 or 4 years for Pettisville. I don't know how many strikeouts she had, probably close to 1,000. And then her younger sister, which would be McKenna's aunt, had probably that many again. And in fact, I know she had 1,000. I'll tell you that story another time. But anyways, I remember talking to Kurt Roars. Somehow he's related to McKenna's grandfather. And he was over there visiting one time over in Pettisville. I mean, it's the middle of the winter. It's snowing. It's nasty out. And so anyways, Kurt says all of a sudden he gets up and he goes, "Come on." I'm trying to think of her name. And he says, "Come on, we're going out to the barn." So Kurt goes, "What are you going out to the barn for?" He says, "Well, if you want to follow, come on out there." There was a pitching layout there with the pitching rubber, and he sat on his bucket, and they threw pitches for about 45 minutes to an hour in the middle of the winter. But that's what it takes if you're going to be that kind of a pitcher.
Just like anything else, you got to put the time into it.
Exactly.
All right. So leading off for Archbold will be Kaylin Bainfeld, senior first baseman, batting from the left-hand side. Pitch called for a strike, a little delayed call there. Now, Steve, you got a left-hand hitter up. Do you play your left side of your infield a little bit different with a left-hand hitter or not?
Yeah, you can't really tell. You don't know what kind of a hitter this is. What, she the number 4?
4 hitter, yep.
Okay, 4. You figure she's probably going to pull the ball, so you don't play any different. I mentioned this in the last broadcast that the ball comes off the bat a little differently. Actually, it's more of a hard play. That's going to
ground ball up the middle of the Molly. Molly will field it and get the out at first.
Yeah, she's a pretty good fielder in her pitcher spot.
Yeah,
the left fielder's the one that's got to be most worried because a ball coming off a left-handed batter like that is going to probably tail towards the foul line.
Yep.
Same thing happens with a right-handed batter for the right fielder, but the left fielder's not used to that because obviously she doesn't face that many left-handers.
Grace Meyer, the hitter. First pitch is a ball.
Yeah, Grace played shortstop against Bryant.
Okay.
Again, I don't know the reason for the change in the
She's
lineup.
at second base today. 1-0 pitch. Swinging a line drive right at Addie Zintek at second for out number 2. So 2 quick outs here in the second.
That's where you put the second baseman when that girl's up. Okay, perfect placement.
Batting now will be Ryan Burkholder.
Is it Ryan?
Rian? Maybe it's
Rian.
Rian.
Yeah, I think it's
Rian Burkholder, we'll say. Senior.
Yeah, it's got an extra N on there, so I'm guessing that gives it the "and" sound.
She's the DP.
Okay.
Tonight she'll be hitting for the pitcher, I believe.
I don't know if I talked about the DP or not, but the DP is allowed to bat for one player in the field. In this case, it's the pitcher, which means the pitcher doesn't bat. She's called the flex player. And I'll tell you more about that as the game goes along.
Molly quickly ahead, 0-2 pitch. Ground ball to Fuller at first. She'll Step on first for out number 3. So again, Archbold 1, 2, 3. A great pitching there by Molly. Nothing really solid. And after an inning and a half, Archbold 0, Liberty Center 0. And Steve, I want to. The reason I mentioned that left-hand hitter and how you played it, we seen yesterday against Bryan. They had two girls that were doing a lot of the slap hitting.
Okay.
So they're taking off, they're running towards the pitcher as they're swinging. With good speed, so I think in that situation,
did they play the second baseman in? Because some teams will play the second baseman in on a slap hitter.
Yeah. The reason I asked about the left side though is, do you bring the shortstop in even a little bit so they can get to that ball that they do slap that way?
Normally not. Did you say she was a right or left-handed batter?
Left hand.
Left-handed batter. Yeah. Okay. If she hits it that way, she's probably going to. She's either going to ground out in a normal spot, or she's going to put one right over the infielder's head most of the times if she's a good slap hitter. Okay. Part of that slap, of course, is to try to get that extra speed. I always talk to my granddaughter. I tried to get Molly when she was younger to bat left-handed because, you're about 3 or 4 steps closer to first base.
Right. You're to get there a little bit quicker.
Exactly.
Emma Sinclair, she doubled last night. Will be the leadoff hitter here in the second for Liberty Center. The first pitch to Sinclair is swung on and missed for strike 1. Liberty Center will have Sinclair, Fuller, and Molly Perry will be your 3 hitters. That's also a change in the batting order a little bit. Second pitch is popped up to the first baseman in foul territory. Ooh. She'll make the catch. Made it look difficult, but regardless, it's out number 1. I think another pitch, Liberty's been out in front on that front foot a little bit.
I think Emma likes those high pitches, and the only problem with those, they usually end up somewhere in the air where somebody can catch it.
She's had a really, really good senior year here so far for Liberty Center, both offensively and defensively. And talking about someone that's had a good year, for a freshman, we have Mackenzie Fuller that's stepping in.
Oh, yeah.
She's played a phenomenal defensive first base in the games that I've seen.
Amazing.
And then her bat has come alive here the last 3 or 4 games.
Well, she's getting used to this kind of pitching.
Yeah.
And she's probably got some of the butterflies.
Ground ball down the third base line, off the third baseman's glove. The shortstop will pick it up, but Fuller will reach on an infield single on the ground ball towards the third baseman, who had to try and backhand that with a dive, not able to handle it, and Fuller will reach first base.
Yeah, that's a tough play for the third baseman. It's coming down there pretty quick to begin with.
Yeah, you're not very far away.
Nope, you're not very far away, and it's a quick. You got to make that quick move. And as I've mentioned before, foul ball. As I mentioned before, it's short bases, so you have to make the play, bang bang.
Yeah, you have to field it clean and get rid of it quick. So, Molly Perry at the plate. She tried to bunt on that first pitch and fouled it off. Liberty trying to move the runner up here. No balls, 1 strike. Squares the bunt, pulls back, and it's going to hit her on the arm.
Yep.
I think, or did it hit the bat? I thought it hit her arm. Must not have.
I couldn't tell. We got instant replay or not? Well, the umpire says it didn't hit her, so it doesn't matter.
Molly acted like she didn't rub it, so.
Yeah, that's true. Must have caught maybe the knob of the bat.
All right. 0-2 pitch. Molly squares, pulls back, swinging a little tapper as good as a bunt.
Could be. Could be. Nope.
Just got her at first base, so it got the job done. It got the runner moved up to second. Was just as good as a bunt on the slow little roller towards third. I think the pitcher actually fielded it and was able to make the play. So Liberty with the runner in scoring position with 2 outs, and that'll bring up Macy Crew.
Macy, I don't know how she did against Bryan, but when I've watched her, she's had some really nice games, hitting-wise.
I think, again, another player that's getting better, as the season has gone.
But when she was a freshman, I was coaching on the team that year, and she actually got to play quite a bit with the varsity, and she was a decent hitter, decent hitter.
Macy with a .359 batting average on the year.
Must have just been outside. Nope, he called it a strike. We're going to have to wait for him.
Yeah.
No,
I
think she's
in the field.
She's on the bases. He's behind the plate.
So Crew behind here, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch is outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As I was saying there with Crew batting .359, 11 RBIs with 10 runs scored on the season.
Yeah, that was a good pitch for the pitcher. She wanted to see if she'd go for that outside pitch.
Ball in the dirt. Crew was disciplined enough to hold off on the swings. So the count will go to 2-2.
I think with the 0-2 count, the pitcher's trying to find out, okay, now where's he calling a strike? I'm going to throw it here. Now I'll go a little further inside.
Ball is grounded right back by the pitcher. That took a weird hop.
Yeah.
Not going to get her at first.
Nope, yeah.
Fuller rounds third. Will go back to third. So that was a weird hop. It wasn't hit very hard.
No,
I think the pitcher thought she had it. And the
Kinda
bad hop.
I think it hit in the divot where she comes off the mound.
It hit something, that's for sure.
Skipped under her glove. I'll tell you what, I like the way that the coach has him running the bases. Coach Kyle has him running the bases. She was halfway down the line.
Yeah.
If that first baseman would have hesitated or been in some daydream somewhere, she'd have probably scored.
Mm-hmm. So Aubrey Zeider is the hitter now with a runner at first and third, 2 outs. First pitch, ground ball towards third, just foul.
Yep. Wonder if they could. Wonder if they practice this where the runner on first starts to run down towards second, kind of watching the catcher as she goes down just to see if she's going to throw the ball, and then get into a rundown because that's tough for players to make a play back to the plate once you've thrown that ball there.
Pitch is outside. Cruz going to second. They're going to go right back to the pitcher, and we got him in another rundown. So, and the play at home, she's going to be out. So a second kind of base running error has cost Liberty here in 2 innings.
Yeah.
In that situation, you're on third. You've got to see the ball through, past the pitcher, and Archbold was able to get to the third out there against Liberty
Center. That shows
Center.
Archbold's playing good defense, which is kind of unusual when they had those really good pitchers, kind of like Brian has this year. The fielders don't get as many chances in the game because there's more strikeouts, and if you can make the ball do something, Archbold used to be shaky on their defense, excellent on their pitching. They were a decent hitting team and a really good pitching team.
Yeah.
But
I think that kind of goes hand in hand, as we were talking about before the game a little bit. When you have good pitching, your defense probably isn't as good because you don't get as much action.
You just don't get the reps.
Yeah, you don't get the reps,
and it's not the same. And you could say, well, you can hit ground balls and ground balls and ground balls to them during practice, but hey, in a practice, you get 15 ground balls, you make 1 error, no big deal.
Yeah.
It's just another error.
You got to get bat reads.
You make that 1 error in the game in a key situation, it makes a big difference. And then that sometimes gets you thinking about the rest of the ground balls that game.
Yeah. So Megan Taylor will lead off for Archbold here in the third. She is a junior center fielder.
I've got
or
senior.
Catcher, I'm sorry.
Is she the senior too or not? Maybe
I have her down as a junior. Ground ball to Crew at third. Fields it cleanly. Throw across for out number 1. So nice play by Macy.
Yeah, she's made
Crew
2
there.
nice plays.
That's kind of a big hop into a short hop, and Crew was able to handle it.
Right. I've got her down as a senior,
okay.
So we'll see. I got it off the internet. Maybe I copied it wrong, one way or the other. Onto my paper or onto your paper?
Hannah Downing, I have her as a junior center fielder. Pitch 1 is called a strike on the outside corner.
Molly likes that outside corner.
That's always a tough pitch to hit.
Yeah. Yep.
No ball, 1 strike. Pitch
There's
squared to
one.
bunt, misses for strike 2. And Molly quickly ahead in the count. I think she's got some pitches here she could waste to see if the hitter will go after or out of the strike zone. You don't want to give her anything good to hit.
Maybe another one on the outside corner. There it is.
Good location. Just missed. I think Bia did a nice job of kind of trying to frame it there, but wasn't able to pull the umpire in. So we go to 1 and 2, still way ahead in the count.
Maybe go on the inside corner now. Ooh, that's too far inside.
Yeah. That was the idea, though, Steve. It looked like.
Yeah.
But a little too far inside, and Downing will reach first, being hit by the pitch, and that'll bring up Charlie forward.
Now, I don't know. She's batting down in the bottom of the order, but on a couple of write-ups I've seen about Archbold's game, she seemed to have got her name in the paper. And I don't think it was a negative name.
Squares the bunt. Went for it. Was way outside for strike 1.
She was going to bunt that wherever it was at.
Yep.
If you're going to do that, you might as well throw it high and have her pop it up.
So 1 out. Runner at first. Forward at the plate. The 0-1 pitch is high. Pulls back. Still trying to bunt here. Third baseman Crew charging hard.
Well, we're in the third inning. There's only 1 out. Okay, she's looking at trying to get that girl to second base, and maybe they can make something happen.
Pitch
There, she's gonna
bunted
punt
right
it.
in front of the plate. Crew will grab it, plays at first, got her at first. The runner will advance to second, so a nice play again
Yeah.
by
Crew-
Macy Crew getting the out.
That's 3 for her. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but Kinsey over there at first base, as soon as she caught that ball, she started running towards third base. Okay, that's what an alert first baseman will do. Don't let that runner even think about going.
Yeah,
to
get
third.
the out, make the next play.
That's right.
See what's happening. All right, 2 outs. Runner at second is Downing. Forward with the sacrifice bunt to get the runner there. And this is the top of the order, and Addie Kinsman.
Okay,
Open stance here.
Yep.
Pitch outside to go to 2-0.
Tim called that an open stance. Watch her front foot if you can. Can they see it on the screen or not? Watch her front foot. It's deep in the box, back. Watch her where she moves. She moves her foot towards the plate.
Yep.
Okay? That's what most people on an open stance do. Because if you don't move your foot to the front of the plate, people are going to pitch you outside, and you're never going to hit that pitch.
Molly falls behind here on Kinsman. 3 balls, no strikes. Pitch is low.
Well, not all bad. Now you got to force it any base.
Right.
Just keep the ball in front of you. Make sure they can't advance to the next base, and let's make things happen with this next batter.
Well, the trouble is you're kind of in the meat of their order here with the two hitter
Right.
here, 2 and 3 hitter. So big at bat here. Molly delivers ball outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Notice they're not really looking for a bunt here. The third baseman is back. First baseman is back. Okay? With 2 outs, you normally don't bunt. So they're playing back so they can field that ball and make a play on the infield.
1 ball, no strikes. Molly delivers. Swinging a fly
That
ball to
should
center
be.
field to Gray. She's
Yeah.
there. She's got it for out number 3. And a hit batter and a walk, but Archbold will strand 2 runners in the inning. And again, we're through 2.5 and still no score.
So, anyways, I'll enlighten the fans. The reason I'm saying hi to my grandson is because he was listening to a game earlier in the season when I was broadcasting with it, and he kept saying, "Hi, Grandpa. Hi, Grandpa." so hi out there, Leo. How you doing? Is your brother with you? I hope you're doing pretty good. Hey, I heard you're taking some really important tests this next week. I hope you do really well on them because next time I hear from you, I want to hear what kind of scores you got. All right? So, talk to you later, Leo. Bye. So, yeah, I was talking about the DP and the flex. The DP only bats, but there's a rule in there that says if somebody in the field for some reason comes out of the game, the DP could play a position while the flex is also in the game, and the DP can still bat, and the player who was in the field would then only be batting. She doesn't become the DP, but what she does do is have the, let's say a runner, for example, hurts her foot a little bit where she can't move laterally. Okay, she could then come to bat only and stay in the lineup, but not.
There'll be a test later, Tim.
All right, so we got Aubrey Zeider at the plate. She was at the plate when Liberty the runner was out at home on the steal and got in the rundown. So Aubrey at the plate still.
Yeah, that's okay, Tim. There will be no test. I know some umpires that don't know.
I'm not very good at tests.
Well,
so
that's okay.
I'll pass. I'm past the testing stages of my
I know
life,
that,
I think.
Yeah, they use the DP at Liberty Center quite a bit, and Jenny knows the rule pretty well. My daughter.
She was trying to explain it to me yesterday. I was a little bit confused, though.
Okay, it's a
This isn't
I'll
a
tell
rule
you
they've
what.
had forever, right?
It takes not maybe the best lawyer in the world to figure it out, but it might be good if you were a lawyer to read that and get it all put together.
Right, so Zeider down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Aubrey coming into the game, batting .439 on the year, 11 RBIs and 7 runs scored. Pitch is down in the dirt, makes the count 2-2. Zeider, a freshman also, as we were talking about Mackenzie Fuller earlier on. Aubrey's had a really nice season as a freshman. A 2-2 pitch to Zeider is
That was a little high.
a little high, but called third strike for out number 1. So now we'll have Eliza Jones step into the plate. Eliza moved down in the order a little bit.
It's okay. She's still got the power.
Yep. First pitch to Eliza from Thiel. Ball in the dirt for ball one. Now Liberty'd like to get some more base runners here.
Yeah, McKenna's mother used to be the head coach at Archbold. Then she became, I think, principal in the elementary or something like that. I know she's an administrator, and so she doesn't coach anymore.
Jones is the 9-hitter tonight, so he's trying to get on board. Line shot on the left field line. Fair ball. Jones rounds first, head for second. No, slides back into first safely. I love the base running, though.
Yeah, aggressive.
Very aggressive, rounded first hard. Any bobble or throw offline, she's going to be able to get to second, but then was able to get back to first. So a hard hit ball down the left field line by Jones for a long single to get a runner for Liberty Center, and that will bring it to the top of the order with Emmy Gray at the plate.
And not only that, but that puts a thought in the outfielders' minds. These girls are running hard. I better get the ball in as quick as possible, which sometimes leads to mistakes.
Gray grounded out to the pitcher her first time up. First pitch is high. We're in the bottom of the third here. No score. Archbold and Liberty Center. One ball pitch outside that goes to 2-0. So now you're in a hitter's count. 2 balls and no strikes with a runner aboard.
I don't think you'll see it, but it looks like maybe Eliza might be setting the catcher up for a delayed steal, but it looks like the catcher knows or realizes that.
Thiel with the delivery.
Ooh, she's going through.
Going through. Safe. Ball goes into center field. Jones will stay at second. So a straight steal it looked like there by Jones. It was Emmy Gray showing bunt, then pulling back. You could tell that she wasn't going to bunt it.
No.
That was just, I think, for a little bit of a distraction on the catcher. And then you had the defenders also moving. So Jones with the steal of second. Now a runner in scoring position. The 2-1 pitch to Gray. Ground ball up the middle. Short second baseman going to the middle.
Get it with ace.
Not in time at first.
Emmy's got the speed to beat that out.
Nice play by the second baseman on a
play.
backhand. Just didn't have the time to get the out. So
exactly.
Gray with an infield single. She'll reach first, holding her hands. She got hit off the handles there. Jones moves over to third now with Addie Zintek at the plate with just 1 out.
On that steal by Eliza, you notice the center fielder saved that from being a possible 2-base steal. She came in pretty hard on that and was on the ball before Eliza knew what had happened.
Now Zintek squares the bunt and misses, so 1 strike right away. I think that Emmy Gray may be on the move here soon.
Well, with 1 out and the speed of Emmy, and we got decent speed, good speed on third base.
Zintek squaring the bunt again. Swing, ground ball up the middle. Shortstop field to get the out at second. And Zintek will be safe at first, and Jones will come across and score for the first run of the game and a 1-0 Liberty Center lead. So good job by Zintek putting it in play, getting the run in.
Yeah, the shortstop seemed like she couldn't find the base there. But I think even if she'd have made a smooth play, I don't know if she'd have got Addie coming down the line.
She's got Zintek with good speed.
Yeah, good speed.
Barrett at the plate with 2 outs. Ball outside. Zint drops it, then the catcher does, but not enough for Zintek to move up.
Notice they can get a pretty good lead there because if you get a chance, watch the first baseman. She's aware that we are a bunting team. Mm-hmm. She's playing in front of the base, and she's not getting back to the base very quickly if you watch her this play.
I wouldn't think, though, that they would expect
what happened
Bia.
Oh, foul ball?
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that they would be thinking that Bia would be bunting with 2 outs.
No, you're right. You're right. But she's still playing in. She's not getting back that fast.
So 1-1 is the count on Bia. The pitch is high and outside. She changed up, trying to get Bia out in front.
I think that was the pitch she threw to Bia on the third strike.
Yep.
So she figures, well, it worked once. Let's see if we can do it again.
Be able to hold up. So it's 2-1 to Barrett. Zintek at first, 2 outs, bottom of the third. The pitch to Barrett, swinging a line drive to center field, over the center fielder's head, off the bottom of the fence. Zintek heading for third, rounding third, play at the home. It's going to be close. She's safe.
All right.
Barrett will move up to third with a RBI double and advances on the throw home. So Liberty Center will take a 2-0 lead on a hard hit. That ball was clearly going to be over the center fielder's head as it hit off the bottom of the fence. The question was did it have enough to get out of here?
did you? I don't know if the fans saw that, but when Addie came into the plate, she took a little bit of. You're only allowed to go out 3 feet outside the baseline. So, but she only went about 1.5 feet, and she actually came around the base and tagged it with her hand. That makes it a lot harder for the catcher, even if it would have been a good play.
Yeah.
The ball was out in front of the plate, and the catcher couldn't really make a play, but she made a good job sliding on that. So, any of you young girls out there, think about that. You don't have to go in feet first. You can round that base and try to slap it with your hand as you go by.
You got a courtesy runner for the catcher, and that'll be I think it's Madison Foster. Yeah, Maddie Foster. So
okay, all right. Let's see, Emmy, bring her in. Be nice to have a 3-run lead, not a 2-run lead.
Yeah, the ball hit by Barrett was no doubt going to be over the center fielder's head. It's just a matter of where the ball was going to bounce off the fence if it was going to give us a chance to score Zintek all the way from first.
Well, with her speed, anybody else, I'm not sure. She's got good speed.
It's always good to have good speed.
And really, the center fielder got to that ball really quick, hit the cutoff man. Everything was done right. It's just Addie just beat him with her speed.
Yeah. Sinclair at the plate. She popped up her first time up. Takes a ball inside and high. Emma on the year, batting .469.
Well, I'll tell you what, Archbold's not going to let down because I was talking to the coach about their game against Wauseon. They beat 4-2. They scored the first run, then Wauseon scored 2 to make it 2-1. And I think it was like in the 4th inning they came back and tied it.
Ground ball up the middle. Pitcher fields it cleanly and gets the out at first. So Liberty Center gets 2 runs in the bottom of the 3rd, and after 3 innings of play, it's Liberty Center 2, Archbold 0.
Hey, while we've got a break here in between innings, these games are brought to you by these sponsors, and only with their help can we bring these to you guys. And that's KK Collision, Meyer Badenhop Insurance, STN Design, Affinity IT Group, 3Chord, Davis Farm Services, Swanton Welding, Pam and Dick Leatherman, P's and Ella's Pizza, Gerald Grain Centers, Holgate Metal Fab, and last but not least, Sattler Meats. And also check our schedule update on lctigersportslive.com for any last-minute changes. There is one for tomorrow. The Lady Tigers will be traveling to Napoleon, and that will now be a single game. It was originally set up for a doubleheader, and that is a start time of 12 o'clock. So be a single game. The Lady Tigers will go over to play the Lady Wildcats of Napoleon.
You know, it's hard to believe that the season's winding down already.
Yeah,
the weather doesn't say that, but we're getting near here.
Well,
so.
And girls' tournament will start on the 7th, and we'll have any home games.
Next Wednesday is what, May 1st, I think? So, all right, here we go. Top of the 4th inning. It'll be Rain Kinsman is the hitter for Archbold. Molly Perry still on the mound for Liberty Center. First pitch was a ball, so 1 ball, no strikes. Molly delivers, swinging a ground ball in the hole. Sinclair with a nice backhand throw across in time to get the out.
I'll tell you what.
Heck of a play by Sinclair. She goes to her right, backhands in the hole, makes a strong throw across to get Kinsman for out number 1.
I would say there's maybe a couple of other shortstops in this area that could have made that play.
It's not just the fielding the ball,
No,
it's the throw also.
yeah.
There's a line shot into the left center. That's going to get Eliza makes a nice play in the gap to get the ball in to hold her to a long single by Bainfeld.
Right.
So nice job by Eliza Jones cutting that off in the gap. Holds Kinsman to a single. And that'll bring up Grace Meyer for Archbold. 1 out, runner at first.
I was going to say, Archbold's not a team that lets down. After they tied it up 2-2, then they scored 2 more runs to beat Wauseon, which actually was
Ground ball up the middle. Molly fields it clean. It goes to second for 1.
Let's make sure of 1.
I think we might have had a little bit of a lack of communication out there between our second baseman and shortstop, but they got at least 1 out. for out number 2. So nice play by Molly.
You know, that's not a play that happens that often where the pitcher fields the ball and goes to second base. So it's a difficult play for the infielders, the second and shortstop, and also a difficult player for the first baseman or pitcher, because normally the pitcher fields the ball, goes to first base.
Yeah. You had mentioned it earlier, Steve, that Molly Perry, a very, very good defending pitcher, fields her position very well. Another nice play there. So 2 outs. Ground ball in the hole between short and third into left field. Jones will field it cleanly out there and get it into Sinclair. So
and Emma's not worried about getting dirty.
Archbold kind of kicking up their heels a little bit here. So 2 runners aboard with 2 outs, and that'll bring up Grace Meyer for Archbold.
Mom, get the washing machine started.
Yeah, she was a mess last night, too, after the Bryan game. So, pitch to Myers, high and outside for ball 1.
Yeah, one time I had what I called Snickers player of the game. The dirtiest player on the field got a Snickers at the end of the game. But it was always my catcher, and I noticed she was starting to gain weight. So about halfway through the season, we said,
ground ball to bad hop right to Zintek for the out. I'm going to call that 6-4 put out.
Okay, so I can go with that.
A ball that was hit to Sinclair at short, took a bad hop off her arm, kicked over to Zintek, who was standing on second base. So
you know, they do, though. If a pitcher knocks a ball down or slows a ball down, they give credit to the pitcher for that play, too. So.
6-4 put out. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, right?
That's right.
So
no doubt about it.
No runs scored for Archbold, and we'll head to the bottom of the 4th. 2-0 Liberty Center.
One more McKenna Thiel story about her aunt. I was behind the plate umpiring the game where her aunt got her 1,000th strikeout. I think it was over at North Central. And now, I don't think you could do this in a boys' game, but in the girls' game, they stopped the game. The pitcher and catcher got a picture taken. So then they say they want the batter to come in and have her picture taken. Have her picture taken with the pitcher and the catcher. And then they asked me if I want to. I just no. Let's get this game going.
Yeah. That was back in the old days, though,
yeah.
Steve. Nowadays, they can just Photoshop all that stuff in there.
And speaking of old days, we always try to do fun facts. And, Steve,
Okay.
you and I, you've been around the ball game. What was the original name of softball when it started? That's a
Ragball. I think I've heard something about
no.
ragball.
It was actually it was actually called kitten ball.
Wait a minute. You're supposed to give us an inning to think about it so I could look on my phone.
It's so people just Google it.
Yeah, that's true.
My question is, when did fast pitch softball start? Because it wasn't always fast pitch.
Well, if you go back to the first years of baseball, that really wasn't that fast. But I'm trying to think. I would have to. I guess that's something you'd have to Google.
1926.
A lot longer ago than I thought.
Okay.
All right, Mackenzie Fuller is your hitter for Liberty Center here in the 4th. Takes the ball inside and high. Fuller on the year, batting .310. But like I mentioned earlier, the last 3 or 4 games, she's really started to heat up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's get some rolling. 2 runs might not be enough.
Ground ball, foul towards the LC dugout. So the count goes to 1-1.
Yeah, that center fielder's backed up. I don't know if the people can see it. There's a worn spot about 10 feet in front of her, and that's where she was standing until that ball got hit over her head by Bia. Yeah. Now she decided I'm gonna play back.
Ground ball up the middle. Second baseman will field it cleanly and get the out at first. You look at their outfield; they're all playing extremely deep.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Liberty has a reputation of being a team that hits the ball pretty hard.
Molly Perry will step into the box. 1 out, bottom of the 4th. Field delivers to Perry, ball inside and low.
She likes to throw that pitch in the dirt every once in a while. It's a good thing she's got a catcher that gets down there and blocks it.
That one,
I guess she
must
must
have
have
hit her
heard
leg, maybe, or came out of her hand weird. So
must have heard me saying something about she's throwing pitches low and decided to show me that I can throw a pitch high too.
2 balls, no strikes on Perry. Tigers looking for a base runner. 2-0 pitch, high again.
3-0. Definitely might want to look at one here. Be nice to have a base runner on there.
Too much stickum.
Maybe. I don't see any rosin bag out there. She could come back, though. I think she's got real good control. Yep, there's a strike.
Count goes to 3-1. Theo, your pitcher for Archbold, just a sophomore. 3-1 the count on Perry in the pitch. Swinging a line shot up the middle for a base hit. Nice swing by Molly. She's kind of got that inside-out swing. A hard hit ground ball past the pitcher into center field, and she'll reach first here with 1 out. And that'll bring Macy Crew to the plate.
It'll also bring out a courtesy runner for her. That'll be 23, Lily Howard.
So we'll have Howard. Lily Howard will run for Molly Perry, I think.
Coach questioned something about
No, never mind.
No.
She didn't have her number on her jersey. Wonder what happened. She put the wrong number on. Okay, so it looks like Molly's going to run for herself. I wonder what happened with the jersey. Maybe she didn't put the right jersey
All you got to do
on.
is, looks like all you got to do is put a
piece of tape on it. Well, it can't be number 1.
Put a
jacket on.
Put a jacket on. How do they know what the other players? So
wonder what her number.
All right, 1 out. Perry at first. Crew is batting.
Molly's probably definitely not as fast as Howard, but she's a smart runner, so she won't take any chances, and she can get that extra base just from experience.
Crew squares the bunt and will bunt, and we're going to have a foul ball. So they're going to say she was in the box still.
I'll tell you,
That's
maybe
close.
1 foot was in the box.
That's close.
But, that's more of a call for the base umpire.
Yep.
I was looking to the base umpire more than I was the plate umpire on something like that.
Let's see if the Tigers can't get back-to-back hits here. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner at first. A 1-1 pitch to Crew is a strike called. Yeah. As I mentioned earlier, the home plate umpire with a delayed strike call.
Likes to keep us guessing, anticipating.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Crew. Crew squares the bunt, pulls back, swing, and a looper into center field is going to get down.
Yep. And nobody's covering second base.
So a bloop single by Crew will put runners at first and second, still 1 out, and Aubrey Zeider will come to the plate.
Okay, here's a question. Now, if Howard puts a right jersey on, can she courtesy run at any time?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Those two, the second baseman and shortstop stood there and watched the center fielder. If one of them would have been at base, they might have had a play.
Ground ball to the right side to the second baseman.
Yeah,
she'll get the out at first. It'll move both runners up. So you have Perry will move up to third. Crew will move up to second. And Eliza Jones steps to the plate.
Who had a nice single over the third baseman's head.
Right here is right here's situations that wins and lose you games.
Oh, yeah.
2 runners in scoring position. Nice to get a 2-out, 2-run single here. Okay. Ball high on pitch number 1.
Now, watch the third baseman down there. If she'd happen to get into Molly's way on the way back to third base, that'd be called obstruction. Let's see if the umpire calls it. So after the pitch is over, you might want to glance down there and see what the third baseman's doing.
Eliza fouls 1 back to even the count at 1-1.
Yeah, this could make or break either Archbold or Liberty Center. If the Archbold makes the play, it's definitely a plus. That was a changeup that messed her up.
Yeah, changeup that Jones is way out in front. Eliza batting .340 on the year, 2 home runs.
I think Eliza felt a little embarrassed about that, but she's got to shake it off and come back with the next pitch.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch from Thiel is way out in front again in the dirt, and they'll throw her out at first for out number 3. As you mentioned, Steve, that's a big at-bat for both teams.
Sure.
So now the score will remain 2-0 here as we head to the top of the 5th.
Yep, because if she'd have got a single out there just about anywhere, okay, I think who was the runner on second?
Crew,
and she's got decent speed. I think it would have been tough trying to get her out because she'd have been gone.
Well,
with 2 outs.
The thing is, too, the outfield was playing so deep.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, exactly. So, well, I guess they just have to hold them with 2 outs for right now. But they are definitely putting a lot of pressure on Archbold's defense with all the we've had runners on almost every inning.
Mm-hmm.
And that's definitely puts pressure on the defense because now you got to think about, okay, what am I going to do? If nobody's on, obviously the only play is first base. Now you got to go, am I going to second? Am I going to first? If the ball's hit here, do I go to second? If the ball's hit there, I go to first. Sometimes girls think about that. Well, boys and girls think about that, and sometimes they don't. So makes a difference. Ooh, we got ourselves Reese out there. Reese is going to be pitching.
And we're going to switch pitchers. So
I think so.
Reese Keller will be Kessler.
Kessler.
Kessler will be on the mound for Liberty Center. And for Archbold, they will have the 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming to the plate in Downing, Forward, and Kinsman.
So a lot of times when you've seen, let's see, probably the last two, they've only faced Molly once, I think. But anyways, a lot of times.
So, Steve, let me ask you, though, what is the thought behind this? As a coach,
changing speed.
You're gone through 4 innings and haven't given up a run.
Yeah.
And switch pitch. You don't very rarely will you see that.
No, especially in girls softball, because it's not like the pitcher gets tired or whatever. But as I think I've mentioned in other games, Reese is left-handed, Molly's right-handed. You might not think, oh, that's not a big deal. But what you're doing is you're training yourself as a batter. At least that's what I used to tell my batters. Watch that hip. That's where the ball's going to come from. You know, as an overhand pitcher, you can have somebody coming right straight over the top. They can go 3/4 speed. They can go sidearm. With a pitcher, you got only one position you can throw from. The other thing is she has a different change in speed. So, you know, they're used to it. So it's like she's throwing a changeup all the time. Plus, she's throwing a changeup to the changeup.
All right, so number 4, Downing is at the plate. Reese Kessler now pitching for Liberty Center. First pitch.
Did you catch a corner? Ooh.
He wanted to, I think, and then he kind of pushed it outside a little bit. So first pitch of the ball on the outside.
Come on, you always give the pitcher a break on the first pitch.
Reese delivers. That one's outside, too.
That's definitely outside. He must not have read that in the rule book.
So Kessler falls behind here. 2 balls, no strikes to the number 8 hitter. It's like the wind has picked up even a little bit more there looking at the flag.
Now, by the way, the batter called time, but the umpire does not have to grant time.
Reese pitches.
This is not good.
3-0.
We need to get ourselves a strike here. Come on, Reese, you can do it.
3-0 on the leadoff hitter. Pitch is a strike right down the middle. Moves the count to 3-1. Yeah, you definitely don't want to put runners on.
Yeah.
This late in the game with a 2-0 lead.
Make her try to hit it. The thing about a pitcher that throws a little slower, the batter has to supply more of the power. You know, if a girl's throwing hard.
Strike 2 on the outside corner.
Did? Okay. Well, then why didn't he call the first one? It was in the same spot. Should be strike 3, right?
Could have been. Full count. So Reese has battled back here a little bit.
That's right. That's good. Don't give up.
3-2 pitch to Downing.
There it is.
Strike 3 right down.
Ooh, must have been a little high.
Is ball 4 high? So Archbold with their leadoff runner on here. Now, as a coach again here, any little bit of trouble, you may go back to Molly because
they could. It just depends on
situation.
Part of it is what she
Forward
does.
will put it down. Kessler will field it. Get the out at first. Archbold will get Downing to second.
Reese did a good job there.
Yep.
She came charging off the pitcher's plate. She's a left-hander, so obviously, I don't know if you noticed it, but she has to turn and twist her body to make a throw, whereas a right-hander automatically has that position. I used to tell Reese a long time ago, but that was a long time ago and she's forgotten, to do a 360 spin. That way she's got her arm already moving in the motion.
Kinsman's the batter now. Runner at second. 1 out. Kessler delivers.
That's a little high.
Ball high on the first pitch. So Forward did what she needed to do for Archbold, getting the bunt down.
That was the second time they asked her to bunt.
Yeah.
I don't know if she...
Moving the runner up. Pitch is
She's
that's
ducking,
high too.
She's ducking a little bit. I don't know. It's supposed to be your natural batting position. So if she's ducking down, some umpires will just call a strike just because she ducked.
2 balls, no strikes. Now, of course, we're, 20 feet in the air.
That's a strike. Yep, I think she's looking for a walk if she can get it.
So Reese is able to get one in there, and we're at 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Pitch the leadoff hitter.
Almost.
That one's high. So count moves to 3-1.
You were talking about your angle. I went down to a state rules meeting earlier in the year, and they were talking about how, as an umpire, I'll finish this after this pitch.
3-1 pitch.
That's high again.
Ball high, so a walk will put runners at first and second, and now you're facing the two-hitter in the lineup in Tess Ames.
Yep. And so they actually did a study on this with a camera, where they put the camera in a certain position, and then they moved it a little bit inside towards a right-handed batter, and they said a pitch right on the edge will look like a strike or a ball depending on how you position yourself. So an angle makes a difference in an umpire too.
Well,
this is the infield fly rule, by the way.
Archbold threatening here in the fifth.
He's not. Oop, he called that one. Okay.
2 runners on, 1 out. Ames is your hitter. Reese is able to get the first pitch in for a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 pitch.
Hey,
change up called for a strike.
I was going to say, I thought that was
I
dropped
think
in.
Reese throws a slow pitch and a slower pitch. Keeps the hitters off balance for sure, and she's normally pretty good with her control. So Reese quickly ahead, no balls, 2 strikes.
Sometimes they call that a Bugs Bunny changeup.
Pitch is outside. Good stop by Bia.
Ooh,
Runner's going to go to third.
Oh!
Off the glove of Crew.
She's got to relax and let that ball come in her glove. Darn.
So an opportunity there.
The other runner didn't move up.
So Bia did a nice job of blocking the pitch.
I think she tried to make the tag before she got the ball.
The runner does move up from second. Runner is at first and third.
Now we're going to go first and third situation. Now,
be interesting to see what Liberty decides here.
If they're using the same signals they did when Coach Barrett was here, I know where they're going. But I'm not going to tell you guys.
I can tell you where they're going, too, by how the shortstop and second baseman's playing.
Yeah, it might be.
Pitch, ball out.
Ooh,
B is not able to handle it.
Nope. She tried to, I think, again.
She knew the runner was going. She's kind of a little too quick.
Right. She's trying to throw the ball before she catches it.
All right, here we go. This is big here, Steve.
That's
2
right.
runners in scoring position now.
Out.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
A nice strikeout would be here. Let's use that Bugs Bunny changeup again.
You might see it. 2-2 pitch. Swinging a
That's gonna be
blooper
a
into left. Sinclair makes a great
play.
Okay,
she tags up. No, I don't think.
Hold on.
Watch their.
I think they
called what?
She caught it, correct? I think.
Oh, yeah, they called. Yeah.
So another great play by Sinclair behind third, dives to catch it.
I would appeal.
And then I would, too.
I think she left early.
It was close. The runner at third.
I was watching.
Let's see if they do.
Well, the umpires don't call that. The player team has to appeal it.
Let's see.
Let's see if anybody from the dugout was watching that.
Oh, I'd appeal it just for the sake of appealing it.
That's true. Yeah. See if the umpires, what they think. You can't find out unless you ask them.
No, they're going to let it go. So a run does score on the catch by Sinclair. I'm not sure if it was even foul or fail.
I think it was foul when she caught it. At least from this angle. Like I said, angles make a difference. But I think when she caught the ball, her glove was on the other side, the foul side of the line.
And a blooper down the first base line. Fair ball, and it's going to tie the game at 2-2. So Archbold with another bloop single down the right field line after the blooper down the left field line. They tie the game at 2-2 here in the fifth.
Coach is coming out. I don't know if she's going to call a timeout or not.
So going back to the appeal, I see that the runner at first also moved up. And I don't know if she got back to first and moved up on the throw home or not, because typically if you're on first in that kind of a play, you're going at least halfway if it does land fair.
Sure. Now, are you talking about the runner?
The one runner that just scored that moved up on the catch from Sinclair from first to second.
Yeah, I was watching the runner at third. But, Steve made a good point there, though, Tim. That is not a call that an umpire will make unless there's an appeal.
Yeah.
Unless, and they'll just basically, it's a no call unless they're asked to look at it, no matter what happened.
Mm-hmm.
When I've been asked to come into a team practice to just tell them some things about the rules. I say almost every game I umpire, I see at least one time where a girl misses the base, leaves too early, whatever. And if you guys are paying attention, you get a cheap out there.
All right, it's time to get out of the inning, though.
That's right.
Archbold's still a runner on first.
That's
I'm
right.
assuming they're going to be very aggressive with
And
her.
this is their lead or cleanup hitter.
Yep. Pitch is
That should
blooper
be-
towards second. Zintek is there for out number 3. But the damage is done as
right.
Archbold gets 2 runs in the top of the 5th and tie the score at 2-2, and with Liberty Center coming to bat in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, that was a tough inning. I know most people will tell you walks will kill you. You got to try to make those girls earn their way on base. I mean, they're earning it because they're not swinging at bad pitches that could be or are balls, but they think are strikes. So it's not like the girls don't earn it. It's just that you're giving them that because you're not throwing the ball close enough or in the strike zone so that they have to swing. And like you said on that one batter, it was almost to the point where with the first batter, the leadoff hitter, let her hit it, throw it right down the middle, make her earn her way on. She was, I think, the leadoff hitter anyways, or I don't remember,
Yeah.
but she was a small enough girl that I don't think she was going to put it out of the park.
Well, and one of the things you're looking at, kind of Liberty's pitching, it's not overpowering pitching.
No.
So you have to be able to pitch to contact
Sure.
and let your defense do the work.
And they
So-
do have an excellent defense behind
Yeah.
them. I mean, there's not one girl out there on defense that I think shouldn't be out there. They're all playing very, very well. And they've gotten better as the season went along. I mean, Emma Sinclair hasn't gotten better. She's just kept improving slowly. But there's a couple girls out there that have really, really shown some big improvements since the beginning of the season.
All right, Liberty have Emmy Gray leading off here in the 5th. Bottom of the 5th. 2-2 score. First pitch, swing, fouled back for strike number 1.
So we got the top of the order. Good. That's a good way to start. Need to make something happen this inning. We might be able to see these guys again in the 7th.
Yep. So you got Gray, Zintek, and Barrett due up here. The 1 strike pitch to Gray. Ball in the dirt.
I think we do. If we do enough damage this inning, we won't have to worry about the 7th inning. We'll
Right.
be ahead.
1-1 pitch to Gray. Ground ball right at the shortstop. Hard hit.
Oop. Almost
Got her
got you
out
there.
at first. So a nice play by the
Yeah,
shortstop
it was.
to retire Gray.
Thought you might have lofted that a little bit, but it came down.
So 1 out, and Addie Zintek will come to the plate.
Let's try to get her on here. They're creeping a little bit.
Pitch to Zintek is a ball high.
Third baseman's creeping a little bit more than the first baseman. If you can sucker those girls in.
Ground
then-
ball right back to the pitcher, over to first for out number 2.
Wrong place to hit it. Yeah, if you can pull those girls in with that, showing that bunt, and then bring the bat back, you can. Some people call it a butcher boy. Some people call it a slap hit. Just depends on who you're talking to. But basically, you're trying to get that third baseman to come in and then bust one by her.
All right, Barrett at the plate now. Barrett doubled off the fence in center her last time up and drove in a run.
Let's keep one fair and put it over the fence. How about that?
She's got several on the year.
Stayed away from that changeup.
Called it a strike.
He
Wow.
did. Wow. It was slow enough it might have dropped into the strike zone. It's supposed to be where it crosses the front shoulder, but sometimes that doesn't necessarily end up being the way it's called.
No balls, 1 strike to Barrett. Swing and a fouled back.
Got 2 quick strikes on her.
I think if I'm Bia, I'm got to think it's going to be the slow pitch.
I would definitely be looking for that. And the thing with that is if you just try to get the bat on the ball, foul it off if you can, don't try to kill it, just make contact.
0-2 pitch
Oh,
out in front.
That was a change of speed.
Yep, change
Wasn't
of
quite
speed.
the changeup, but it was.
Now, Steve, let me ask you this, and Mark, we can go to you. We'll go to Mark first, and I got a question for you.
Okay.
Hey, once again, our sponsors make these things all possible for you guys. Settler Meats, from our farm to your table, right there on Perry Street in Napoleon. Holgate Metal Fab with 14,000 feet of fabrication area. Holgate Metal Fab is the shop you can count on. Gerald Grain Center is that farmer-owned cooperative, 9 locations, one right in downtown Liberty Center. Pisanello's Pizza, that great family restaurant serving up wings, subs, salads, and a variety of appetizers. Pam and Dick Leatherman, Swanton Weldings. They've been providing their customers with the highest quality metal fabrication services since 1956. Davis Farm Services, that farmer-owned, family-owned agronomy business, serving Northwest Ohio farmers 50-plus years. 3-chord, sign it, sew it, screen it, promote it. Affinity IT Group, cybersecurity and managed services for your company's demanding computer needs. STN Design, your home for custom screen printing and embroidery. Meyer Badenhop Insurance since 1933. Meyer Badenhop's been right here in Northwest Ohio. And last but not least, KK Collision, the leader in the automotive repair industry, 27 years, right just north of Liberty Center on State Route 109. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it.
I'm glad you're reading off those sponsors, because my first game we had a tech that didn't want to talk on the
Cole
radio.
does not
Yeah.
speak.
Cole, I hope he does sometime.
Nope.
But I probably butchered him up. You might have lost a few sponsors.
All right, here we go.
Sleep.
Top of the 6th. Grace Meyer lead it off for the Blue Streaks. Kessler still on the mound for Liberty Center. She entered the game last inning.
He didn't call that a strike. I thought that might have caught the
First
front of the
pitch.
plate.
First pitch is a ball. Grace Meyer is the second baseman. One ball, no strikes. Pitch
Outside.
just outside, moves the count to 2-0.
Can't afford to put another walk on.
Liberty's outfield not playing nearly as deep as what Archbold's
Well, this
was playing.
girl's not
Ground
too
ball
big.
fouled on the third base line.
Kind of have to look at the batter. She's got muscles on top of muscles, or got some good size to her. You want to back up a little bit. In fact, you might even fans look at that. Where does the outfielders move when the batter comes up? What's the outfielder look like, or the batter look like? Usually, cleanup hitters get a lot of respect. There's a bat in there for a reason.
2 balls, 1 strike to Meyer. She delivers. Just a little high, moves the count to 3-1. As we mentioned, got us into a little bit of trouble the last inning was the walks.
This is one where you need to feed it to her.
Yep, let her hit it.
Don't play corners or anything like that. Just right down the middle.
Pitch is
Oh.
outside, and Meyer will reach first with the base on balls, and that'll bring up Burkholder.
Now she looks like she might do some damage to the ball. I think I noticed Eliza backing up a little bit. You notice Emmy is playing in that worn
Same
out spot there.
Yeah, she's
But she's got
Burkholder squares the bunt, pulls back, runner goes, play at second, not in time, goes into center field where Gray's at. She'll get it back in, so a stolen base for Meyer puts the go-ahead run at second base with nobody out for Archbold. Burkholder at the plate, one of the seniors
she showed a bunt
for
too.
Archbold.
She showed a bunt too to try to distract the catcher a little bit.
Pitch was called a strike. Next pitch is strike 2 on the outside corner.
All right. That's what we need.
Good job by Reese getting ahead here.
Could use a strikeout right here. That would definitely be very beneficial.
Nothing too good here, though. The
Nope, you
0-2
got two
pitch. Ball
Ooh.
out in front. She's
Okay,
got to
just
play
get
at
the-
third, but
yeah.
she's going to get the out at first
Yeah, that's a safe.
instead. So the ground ball back to Reese for out number 1. The runner, Meyer, will move up to third with 1 out.
I used to have a pitcher that if the ball was hit to her, I don't care where the runners are at. She was going to first base. I could tell her before the pitch was thrown. Now, if the ball's hit to you, go here. Didn't matter. It was like she was in a zone. I'm pitching, and when the ball is hit to me, I know there's an out at first base.
Megan Taylor at the plate. Kessler delivers. That's
Oh,
going to
that's
drop
gonna-
for
yeah,
a
that's
single
gonna-
in the left center field. Gray will cut it off, but
Oop,
a
got you throw.
ball into the pitcher's mound, but a 1-out single that scores the go-ahead run here in the 6th by Megan Taylor.
And they're putting a courtesy runner in for the catcher.
I think that is Pedraza.
Might be.
Oh,
19.
Wise. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Pedraza's not batting at the Bryant game, she was said to be batting 346. So I would think that you'd want somebody like that in there.
So Emily Wise is the courtesy runner at first. And Hannah Downing is the hitter. Liberty needs to get out of this with no more damage. 1 run given up so far, and Archbold with a 3-2 lead.
Watch for another fake bunt and try to steal second again.
This is one thing about softball that I just don't quite understand why it takes so long to do a simple sub. Umpire's got to walk to one dugout and then walk over to the other dugout. And
I don't know. I guess I don't go to that many baseball games, don't they?
They probably do, but
yeah.
Can't you just yell it out?
Oh,
it's not like basketball subs there, Tim.
Yeah. It's
well, and that's one of the things. Bunt to the pitcher.
Go ahead, go to first.
She'll get the out at first, run around second. I think if Fuller throws it immediately, she might get her, but Wise is in safely at second. So the Archbold hitter does what she was asked to do and moving the runner to second, so another runner in scoring position for Charlie Ford.
Oh, this is forward, number 9 hitter.
9 hitter.
She's bunted, I think, at least once. I don't know if she bunted the second time or not, the first time.
I think she's hitting here. 2 outs, runner in scoring position.
Sure she is. I'm just saying I haven't seen her. I don't think I've seen her hit yet.
Pitch to forward is called a ball outside.
Yeah, that was almost in the left-handed batter's box, according to my angle.
My angle, it was on the corner. But.
Well, what we always like to say as officials, you're looking through orange and black glasses.
Pitch to forward, and she's out in front a little bit. 1 ball, 1 strike.
We call those tiger goggles.
Yeah, tiger goggles.
Got your tiger goggles on.
That's right. We need to start buying a pair for all the officials we have.
I mean, going back to the subbing, can't they just send a text to the other coach and the umpire and call it good? It'd be a lot quicker.
Well, it's supposed to be, at least it used to be. I don't know. I don't think the rules have changed. That you tell the home book, because that's the official book, and then the home book can relay it to the visitor's book. But I don't know if we've got too many scorekeepers that don't want to get
ground base hit up the middle to center field to Gray. We're gonna have a play at the plate. Got her.
Yeah.
What a throw from Emmy Gray in center field.
That was
the
nice.
Ball got to her in a hurry,
Yeah.
but she threw a strike to Bia at the plate, who's able to hang on to it and apply the tag for out number 3. So a huge defensive play by Liberty Center to keep the score at 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning here.
Yeah, I was watching the runner. I'm thinking that when the ball got to Emmy, she might have been halfway between second and third.
Yeah.
And I thought, you better not go.
Well, it was hit so well, it got to her in a hurry,
Really
but
quick.
it was. I don't think you could throw it any better than she did.
Yeah.
And
she was a little bit to the left or to the right field side of home plate, but Bia made sure she got the ball first and spun around, and she still had her by about 3 feet.
Yeah, and I don't think people understand how difficult it is for a catcher to hold on to that.
Oh yeah.
And guys, that was probably for our broadcast games, the 3rd time that we've seen Emmy Gray throw somebody out from center field at home plate.
Yeah.
At least 3 times.
Yep.
Well, now we got to get some base runners here.
That's right.
Tigers behind for the first time tonight.
I think Emma's due.
And they'll have Sinclair, Fuller, and Perry. Or Kessler, so I don't know how that's going to work if they'll re-enter.
I think I'm not sure if I understand if they're doing the lineup the way they have the last couple games. I'll explain it after this pitch.
Sinclair the batter.
Ooh.
Foul ball off the foot for strike 1.
What they do is they start Molly as the DP and Reese as the pitcher. And then what happens is at the very beginning of the game, they say we're taking our pitcher out and the DP is going to pitch. Okay, that way when they bring Reese in, Molly's still in the game. The only one that's lost an entry is Reese since she was taken out. So she can't re-enter if she comes back into the game.
All right, so 1-1 count on Sinclair. Pitch shows bunt, foul.
Okay. Was that? I don't know if that was. She looked at the coach. Oh, coach is going, I shook it off. I don't think she's checking to see if the baby's okay. I think she was telling her, that's a shake off.
So Sinclair behind in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Be nice to get the leadoff runner on here. Field delivers. Ball outside. Count goes even 2-2.
Because I just got finished saying, I don't think I've ever seen Emma bunt. And then when I saw what the coach was doing, I was thinking, I don't think she was supposed to.
All right, field delivers. Ball high.
Ooh.
3-2.
I'm glad he's not calling high pitches.
So a critical pitch coming
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Here in
Something's
the bottom of the 6th.
Something's going to happen here.
Tigers need a runner. The 3-2 pitch from field of Sinclair's in the
I
dirt.
think we got to walk.
So a very good at-bat by Emma.
Yep, she did a good job.
As she reaches on the walk.
And she's got decent speed, too. So that was a mistake.
So now you have Mackenzie Fuller at the plate.
I don't know. I'm almost wondering what the coach is going to do here. You might bunt him just to get Emma down there. You might fake a bunt trying to steal. Let's see what she called.
She squares the
She
bunt.
squared. Okay. I think that
foul ball.
might have been a little outside, too. So let's see if she changes. She gave some signals down there. I don't know if any of you ever watched the coach. It's not like she's checking out the sleeves on her coat or anything like that. She's giving signals down there.
No balls, 1 strike to Fuller. The pitch.
Another
bunt,
bunt?
foul.
I think
It
that
hits
hit
her
her.
in the box.
I think it did. Okay, I think it hit her in the box, yeah.
I thought it did too, but she doesn't think it did.
Well, yeah, like I said, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter because that's what he called.
0-2 is now the count. Sinclair at first.
Now watch for either a changeup or something outside.
The pitch to Fuller, swing and a miss.
Yeah.
For strike 3 and 1 out. That'll bring Molly Perry up to the plate. Sinclair still at first, 1 out. Molly had a sharp single her last time up.
Let's see what she does now. Is she going to send Emma?
Ball high,
Ooh,
throw
back.
down to first, and
She dropped the ball.
Dropped the ball.
She dropped the ball.
He's going to have to check with the home plate umpire.
I hope he does.
Yes.
Oh, come on now. You got to be watching that.
So what happened is they threw behind Sinclair.
And she caught the ball, but it popped out of her glove.
I'm not sure what's...
No, I saw it pop out of her glove. It was laying on the ground.
Oh, that is an awful call. Sorry about that, but the
yeah,
so
exactly.
The ball beat Emma the first base.
It did.
The tag was down. The ball came out of her glove.
Right.
The base umpire couldn't see the ball laying on the ground.
Exactly. It's not
it should have been the home plate umpire making that call, but
he should have been looking down there.
And he wasn't watching.
He had nothing else to watch. I mean, in certain games, you may have to watch the runner on third or do some other things, but in this case, there's only one runner on. The pitch has already been called a ball or a strike. His focus should have been on that. So I'll throw that completely on the plate umpire. That was not the fault of the base umpire.
Nonetheless, it's 2 outs here in the 6th. Ground ball to second. Field cleanly, play at first.
Yep.
And the Tigers are out here in the bottom of the 6th.
But that's the sad part about having just 2 umpires. Now, when you get to districts, they have 3 umpires, and that makes it a little bit better because you got a runner at first, you got a runner at third, and then they do shift around depending on where the runners are at. But the plate umpire has less responsibility because in most games the umpire has to be aware of third base. He had I've not talked about, but there's a running lane.
All right, hold on. We got.
Go ahead.
Umpire's not happy at someone down the third base line.
I think I know who it might be.
Yeah. All right. Well, you got to play through it. We're in the top of the 7th now.
That's
Tigers
right.
trail by 1. They still got 3 outs to go. So.
I'm going to give the home plate umpire some credit.
Okay. Yeah.
He did not make up a call.
No.
He said, I didn't see it.
Right.
And that's that is tough to do. And he didn't say safe. He didn't say out. He said, I did not see it.
Which is being honest. Honest.
One thing I'm surprised by it was there was no conversation had by the 2 umpires other than across. Usually they get together and then talk about it and make that decision.
And that's what she should have done.
Right.
Because she's kind of hanging him out to dry. Normally you meet halfway between first and home plate and discuss it. I'm sure they do the same thing in basketball.
But we got to let it go. The players are going to let it go, and we're in the 7th inning now. 3-2 Archbold.
Get 3 outs and let's go.
Reese Keller still on the mound for Liberty Center.
Kessler.
Kessler. What'd I say? Keller again?
Yeah, that's okay.
Addie Kinsman at the plate. She's the leadoff hitter for the Blue Streaks. First pitch of the ball.
Yeah, I was
Pitch
gonna
is
say,
called a strike.
Maybe he'll give us a couple calls now since he missed that one, huh? What do you think?
We let that go, remember, Steve?
Oh, okay, that's right.
1 ball, 1 strike.
You know what? I remember a play made last year I still haven't let go. And I still think about that. I still think about when my son.
Ground ball up the middle for a base hit. Gray will get it into Sinclair at second.
And some of you may remember that playoff game. My son was a senior that year, and we were playing that team, Bedford Chanel or something like that. We drove all the way down the field. I couldn't watch the replay on that game for almost a year. So I have a hard time letting things go sometimes.
Looks like
Molly's
going to go
coming back in.
Yeah, Liberty's going to go back to Molly Perry at the mound.
I think just about everybody's had a chance to face Reese, so that could throw him off just a little bit, and make him have a little bit of difficulty hitting the faster pitcher. I would definitely be watching down the right field, part of the infield and the right field itself, because normally if a girl is swinging a little bit late, it's going to go to the right fielder, to the second baseman, to the first baseman. So we'll see what happens here.
Perry back into the game for Liberty Center on the mound. Archbold with a runner at first in Kinsman, and the 2-hitter Tess Ames at the plate. Liberty's got to keep him off the scoreboard here in the 7th.
I will give Archbold a lot of credit. A lot of teams have had a difficulty with Reese coming in because of that change of speed and everything like that. They read the ball pretty well, got a couple of walks when they needed them, and actually hit the ball pretty well too. So give them credit. They adjusted pretty well. Let's see if they can adjust back now. Hopefully not.
Molly delivers to the 2-hitter, ball low. Let's see if Archbold's moving, trying to steal here.
I'm not sure they want to send her.
Pitch, ground ball to short.
Oh,
Past Emma. Emma's moving towards the center. We've seen that last night on a play too.
Yep.
You got to try and hold your ground as long as you possibly can. So a ground ball that gets into left field for a single. Runners at first and second, still nobody out.
That's one thing that a lot of softball teams do. They try to let their shortstop handle all the throws from the catcher. And sometimes you just have to give that second baseman a chance.
So squares the bunt and bunts one foul down the third base line.
Yep.
And this is Rain Kinsman, your hitter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't think Addie was moving at all. So it must have been Emma's job to get to second base.
Pitch on the way, squares the bunt,
Oh,
pulls back, ball in the dirt.
Base.
Both runners will move up.
See, that was a smart play by Archbold. What they did was they showed the bunt, so the third baseman comes charging in, okay, and the runner figured third base would be empty, which it was, okay, and that's how they were able to move those runners up.
So now second and third with nobody out.
Archbold's been playing a smart game, that's for sure.
Kinsman at the plate, ball outside, moves the count to 2-1.
Yeah, we could use a strikeout here.
Big gap in right center.
How about a ground ball to third baseman, look the runner back and go to first.
Pitch is called a strike on the outside corner, moves it to 2-2.
I'd say go inside, but I think the last time I said that you hit the batter, so throw it wherever you want to, Molly.
Big pitch here. 2-2 pitch. Line over the shortstop's head into left field. Bobbled in left. 1 run will score. Kinsman will move up to third. Runner goes halfway between first and second. Liberty didn't get the ball into the pitcher's mound. Circle. So the runner will move up to second. And Archbold now with a 4-2 lead with Kaylin Bainfeld at the plate.
Their cleanup hitter.
Liberty's got to get it out. Pitch lined in the left center. That one's going to be into the gap, over Eliza's head, all the way to the fence. 2 runs will score, and Bainfeld will stand up at second with a 2-run RBI double. to move the score to 6-2 in favor of the Blue Streaks.
I wonder, of course, you can't get into the minds of your athletes, but after that loss to Bryan last night, you now have 2 losses in the league. Chances are Bryan's probably not going to lose another game. I don't know who they've got to play yet, but I think they've got Wassiana out of the way. I think they got No, I don't think they have Wassiana out of the way. I think they got Archbold out of the way. In fact, could be playing. No, they wouldn't be playing them tonight. But anyways, sometimes that affects your mental approach to the game. Like this game, is maybe meaningless or it doesn't mean as much. And so, sometimes that you don't realize you're even thinking that, but it might affect the way you play the game.
All right, runner at second. Nobody out. Ball in the dirt for ball 1.
Still got nobody out.
Yeah, we need to get an out here.
Definitely. Yep.
Grace Meyer at the plate. Pitch is high, moves the count to 2 balls and no strikes. This game was moving along fairly quick until the last couple innings.
Yep. A lot of action in the last couple innings.
A 2-0 pitch from Perry is grounded right back to her. She'll get the out at first. Runner will move up to third.
Now, you might wonder, Molly took a look at third, but I think what happened was Crew was going for the ball, and Molly saw she wasn't going to get back to the base in time, so she thought, I need to just get an out here.
Yep.
And it's not going to be an out at third this time.
Burkholder at the plate now.
Ooh,
foul tip into the glove for strike 1.
I think that was actually a ball, but that's okay. We'll let you swing at it.
Molly delivers in the dirt. Nice stop by Bia. Will hold the runner at third.
Got down on that. As we used to say, Bia's got to be a wall right now. Nothing gets by her.
Molly delivers the 1-1 pitch, swinging a fly ball down the right field line. Zeider is going to let it. That is a smart play, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Really smart play in my. She could have caught it. She let it go to avoid another run to score.
And that's the second strike, too.
Yep.
So now you got a 1-2 strike count. You can play with the batter a little bit. She swung at an outside pitch, the first pitch. Let's see if Molly goes outside to try to get her to swing at a bad pitch again.
Because if she catches it, the run scores. Instead, you take your chances.
A little bit too far outside for her to swing at that one.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Like you said, that was a smart play.
In this situation, you can't give up any more runs.
No,
I mean, you got to get. You got to strand the runner at third.
In fact, as that ball was going out there, I'm thinking in my mind, okay.
And there you go. It pays off.
There was the pitch.
So the change up on the outside half gets a strikeout on
Yeah, I was thinking.
Burkholder.
I was thinking when that ball went foul and in the outfield there, I was thinking, okay, if you catch that, she's going to tag up. And she was definitely tagging up.
So 2 outs, still a runner at third, and Taylor at the plate, ball outside. Let's see if the Lady Tigers can strand the runner at third. Pitch is lined foul down the third base line moves the count to 1-1.
Now, some of you might notice that runner dodging out of the ball, dodging past the ball. You watch that runner, and she should be leading off in foul territory. And the reason is because if the ball hits her in foul territory, she's not out. If the ball hits her in fair territory, she is out.
Molly delivers the 1-1 pitch. Yep. Another foul ball down the third base dugout.
That time she had her foot on the line, but the rest of her body was in foul territory. Got 2 strikes on her. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Let's see if she tries that outside pitch again.
Ball outside. Kind of a waste pitch.
Well, but you know what? That's what she threw to the last batter. Then the next one, she came in just a little bit closer, and the girl says, I got 2 strikes on me. I better swing at this.
When you're ahead in the count, you don't want to give them something too good to hit. So 2-2, the pitch from Molly. Swing and a miss. Yeah. Be able to hold on for out number 3, but damage is done for Archbold as they score 3 runs in the top of the 7th to take a 6-2 lead over Liberty Center as we head to the bottom of the 7th. So Liberty's going to need base runners here in the 7th. We'll head it over to Mark.
Hey, once again, check our schedule. We've got some updates for our broadcast. The boys will play the Archbold Blue Streaks next week. Also, you can check the school's calendar, which will have road games on it, and the Napoleon game, which was originally scheduled as a doubleheader, will now just be a single game, and that's a 12 o'clock start for our Lady Tigers. So check the schedule. We'll also, as soon as we get tournament updates, the draw's got to be pretty soon, I think, as the girls' tournament starts on May the 7th.
I would think the drawings might be this Sunday. We'll see.
Yep, could very well be drawing Sunday. I got the nod from the athletic director, so the girls' draw will be coming up, and we'll have those games. Any home games that we would host, Tiger Sports Live will have them for you. And should we go on the road later in the season? Well, it's always a possibility, so we'll see.
Fans, get your rally hats on. If you don't know what I mean, you got to go get a baseball hat right now. Turn it inside out and put it on top of your head. If you don't want to turn it inside out, put it on the side of your head where the bill's over the top of one of your ears. Come on, get your rally hats on right now. We're going to score 5 runs.
You can send us pictures on Facebook.
There you go.
Send your pictures
Here
on
we go.
Facebook
Bottom
of
of the
your rally
7th,
hats.
6-2 Blue Streaks. Crew at the plate to lead off for the Tigers. Ground ball foul down the first base line.
And if you got anybody watching with them, get another ball hat. The more rally hats, the more runs we're going to score.
0-1 pitch to Crew from Thiel is
Ooh, okay. Bounce a few more of those in there.
In the dirt. I don't think I would have even swung at that one.
Interesting enough, though, if you can hit a ball off the ground.
Yeah. And the other thing is that within the third strike,
It's like cricket.
you could have taken off for first base if the catcher didn't catch it.
Ground ball to short. She
Not a
fields
good
it cleanly, throw to first, in time to get Crew for out number 1.
All right. I hope you got your rally hats on. Anybody that didn't, that was your fault. We got that out. We're going to hold you accountable.
And that will bring Aubrey Zeider to the plate.
And it really helps if your rally hat has an LC on it, not just any baseball hat. Okay, Aubrey's going to recompose herself. Oh, is that right? She likes to call that timeout, huh?
She's done that multiple times. That's her thing.
Well, you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. Although I don't know if the pitcher's as worried right now as she would be if we were only 1 run down.
First pitch is a ball. Ground
All right.
fouled back.
She's got it timed well, though. When the ball goes pretty much straight back, that means you've got it timed. So we might watch for a change up here or the next pitch.
Thiel's done a good job of keeping the hitters off balance with that change up.
Well, I'm sure her mom and maybe her grandpa, too. I'm sure he's...
Line drive
that's
up
gonna
the middle
go
for a
through.
base hit by Zeider. Ball is in quickly from center field, but Aubrey Zeider with a sharp single up the middle to get things started here in this bottom of the 7th.
Keep those rally hats on. If I had a baseball hat right now, it'd be upside down on my head.
That'll bring up Eliza Jones. In this situation, all you want to do is continue to pass the bat.
That's right.
Make the next girl make the out.
What do they call that? They have a word for that where each guy goes up there and does his job or her job.
Good swing there by Eliza. She fouls one back. Pitch is high.
Okay, now, Aubrey, we're 4 runs down. We don't need a stolen base right now.
I don't think you're going to see stealing or bunting at this point.
Nope.
Because you can't give up outs.
That's right. You can't give up outs, and you can't make mistakes.
Ball inside, moves the count to 2 balls and 1 strike on Jones. Again, Archbold 6-2 lead here in the bottom of the 7th. Zeider at first. Pitch is grounded to third. Third baseman will field it. It's going to second. Not in time. He called her out. So a ground ball to third, a 5-4 put out for Archbold, and we now have 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th.
That's not the easiest play for a third baseman.
No.
Third basemen are used to going to first base. And,
I would have thought she would have went to first, how she
just
fielded
get
it.
the out. That was
So,
kind of a questionable choice.
Top of the order for Liberty Center, down to their final out.
It worked for him.
Emmy Gray at the plate.
Oh, we got
Ball
the top
high.
of the order. We got the top of the order. Let's go.
You know, you look back at this game, and Archbold with quite a few bloop singles, and Liberty had a couple of base running errors early on that probably cost them a little
Sure.
bit. So you
Yeah,
never
no.
point to one play. It's
No.
usually multiple plays that cost you in the end,
Yeah.
no matter what sport you're playing.
I know when we've lost by one game, I always told my team at the end of the game, it's not the girl that made the last out that you should question about whether we won or lost. It's the plays you didn't make during the game or the at bats you didn't produce during the game.
Gray fouls one back to move the count to 1-2 strikes. So Liberty down to their final strike. And the pitch. Fouled back.
You know,
Was
I was
able to
thinking
just
about-
get a piece of it to stay alive.
I was thinking about that. This has got to be one of the more competitive leagues in softball now. I'm not talking about all sports, but in softball. You know, you look at the league that what is it, the NLL or Napoleon's in. You got Springfield, you got
Pitch
Anthony
to
Wayne,
Gray. Ball outside.
and they dominate. You know, but here, I mean, even Bryan, I mean, who's undefeated. I think they've had several games where they won by just a run or two.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're blowing everybody out.
Ball high. Moves the count full. Throw down to first. Not in time as Jones slides in safely. So 3-2 count. You're going to see Eliza moving here now on the pitch with 2 outs and a full count. Full count pitch on the way to Gray. Ground ball to the first baseman. She'll step on first, and that'll do it. Your final score is Archbold 6, Liberty Center 2. Kind of quickly to recap, Liberty Center got out to an early 2-0 lead. Archbold tied to score at 2-2 in the 5th. They score 1 in the 6th and 3 in the 7th to take the 6-2 lead. I think you look at it, I mentioned it earlier. Archbold with some bloop hits, some good base running, was able to get some bunts down to move runners around. Liberty Center, not so much. They struggled on the base pass and a little bit on defense. So Archbold gets the win here. 6-2 is your final score. With that, Mark, I'll let you send us home here.
All right. Well, once again, it is the final. Archbold 6, Liberty Center 2. And for Tim Davis on the call, Steve Parasini on the color, I'm your host, Mark the Captain Bly. And even though it's not a Liberty Center victory, folks, it is always good night and always, always good Tiger sports. Okay.